Oftentimes, people struggle with knowing where they're going. And the place to start is where you are. So, you know, often when you take your smartphone and you look up an address, it wants to know where you are. You have to set the location so that it knows how to map from where you are and give you directions to where you're going. I find oftentimes that when I'm working with leaders in establishing a vision for their lives, for their leadership, they struggle to see what a future looks like or can be. And simply because they don't know where they are. And so it's always good to do an analysis of where you are and where you're going. And, you know, companies, when they begin to develop a strategy, is to actually work on something in their strategic plan called a SWOT analysis, or a strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It immediately establishes where you are and gives you an insight as to where you can go. So, you know, you've probably seen this is the matrix of the site: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So in your personal leadership, I've found over the years it's always good to sit down and begin to do a SWOT analysis on yourself. Assess your own and evaluate your own strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, so that you can begin to get a clear picture of where you are, and then helps you map out your strategic plan for your future. So whether you're in a company, in a business, or just a leader within your own context of your own life, this is something you need to do for your own life. Evaluate where you are and assess where you are so you can map out to where you are going. If you're struggling to get a picture and a vision for the future, here's a good place to start. This is where companies have to start and businesses have to start. So for the strategic strengths area, a question that I ask, especially when it comes to you personally, is what do I have and want more of? What do I have and want more of? That is your strengths. What do you have right now? What are your strengths? What are your skills? What are your talents? What are your, you know, what connections do you have? What influences do you have? What networks do you have? What products? What opportunity? Well, beyond opportunities, but what do you have right now that you've got access to right now that you want more of? How can you develop that? How can you grow that? How can you, what strategy can you build in to make that more valuable to you and to your career or to your business or to your leadership? So, you know, is sitting down and looking at what do I have right now. The second one is your weaknesses. And in your weaknesses, you're going to ask yourself, what do I have but don't want? What do I have but don't want? So now you need to look at, you know, it might be in the area of behavior or attitudes or perceptions. It might be habits that you have. It might be things around you, people around you, you know, circumstances. It might be situations. And then you can begin to strategize on how to eliminate these things. How can you get rid of them? How can you neutralize them or minimize them? Very important to be able to begin to minimize the weaknesses, because they will work against your strengths. The third one you want to look at is your opportunities. What I don't have but need to get. What I don't have but need to get. These are your opportunities. So what don't you have right now in your leadership, in your life, in where you're going? How can you get them? If you don't have the right relationships, how can you get them? If you don't have the right connections, how can you get them? If you don't have the right product or service, how can you get it? If you don't have something, what can you do to get it? And that's a strategy. There's a plan. Who do you need to talk to? What do you need to do? What action steps can you start today to move you forward so that you can begin to create opportunities for yourself. Opportunities are always there. It's just the person that is prepared to create it, to begin to work on it, that begins to see that opportunity develop and come to fruition. So what opportunities are there? What things are there that you don't have that you need to get, and how can you get it? Very important. And lastly is your threats. Is what I don't have and don't want. What I don't have and don't want. So you say, well, that doesn't make sense. But you know, you haven't had a heart attack and you don't want one. So what do you need to do to eliminate that as a threat? How can you bolster up your strength? You must remember something, is weaknesses and threats will come against your strengths, will come against your opportunities. So you need to minimize them. You need to reduce their effect, their possibility. Threats are something that can arise, that can stop you from moving forward and reaching your vision, and for you accomplishing your mission as a leader, and being a leader, or taking leadership, or taking initiative, or being proactive in a situation. So always sit down and look at those 4 quadrants in your life. You know, simply because when I've done workshops and seminars, I often find people, you know, they look at that and they think, you know, I don't even know what to write. Well, it's simply because we've never disciplined ourselves and trained ourselves to think like that. What we do is we just amble along and hope everything just works out. You know, we make decisions, make choices, and we don't, with no thought or strategic thinking about the consequences or the results of such decisions and such choices. We just, you know, go along with whatever feels right at the point in time. But the fact of the matter is, these things come to roost, either with good results or bad consequences. I've taught my children is that you make the right decisions and then you get the right results. Or if you make bad choices, you get bad consequences. And so, you know, the same with our lives. We need to sit down with our leadership, with even taking, you know, a new career move, a new position, whatever it is. Do a SWOT analysis, do an evaluation of where you are. What do I have that I want more of? What don't I have but need? What don't I have and don't want? And what do I have but, you know, just want to eliminate totally from my life? So it's very important, get the SWOT analysis, you know, really evaluate yourself. It's good to sit down with a team. Oftentimes, sit down and say strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And you can go through, you can see the notes that I've given on that, and sit down, work those things out, gets clarity, establishes your location. Once you've got your location, it's always easier. That's a good place to begin, because immediately you can begin to work out strategies, action steps to take from there to either build or eliminate. All right, so that's my suggestion, my idea, my thought for you today. We see you soon. Have a good one. Cheers.